Hey Ma, do you know what burst my bubble?
What burst your bubble, Ann?
The fact that I haven't really been on a vacation since 2014, and the last vacation I went on was Atlantic City with my family. It's 2019 now. Throughout my life, I haven't been on, many, if any, vacations with friends, and it's pretty much just been vacations with my family, and I'm 32 years old.
Well, why don't we make that a goal? Sometimes you have people with vacations have to make it a goal. What kind of vacation would you like to go on? I know we've thrown some out there.
I've had very few girlfriends in my life, but one day I would like to potentially go to a Caribbean island with a girlfriend and relax on a beach, or go to Hawaii or Japan.
So why don't we make this spring a Caribbean island, even for a couple of days, a goal?
I know, but you're going to a Caribbean island with your family.
You don't have to go with your family. You could maybe get some friends to potentially go.
You need a girlfriend or you need a wife. And I look at Facebook and I look at people, I once knew, and I see them going on these Caribbean island vacations and getting married and starting families. And it's just kind of like, I know I was struggling with a severe mental illness, but...
that can come. It can come.
Can you elaborate?
In other words, it's just going to take you a little longer. It can come. You can get to the point where you get a girlfriend and you go on vacation. It'll just take a little longer.
Yeah, and I'm 32 years old. I don't have much money. I'm on disability, and I look at all these people. I know Facebook is kind of like a false narrative.
Yes, it is.
You see them at their best. You look at photographs, you see them at the happiest moments of their life, and you don't see the mundane, negative, everyday details of life.
And there are people that they look like they're so happy, and they're not. So Facebook is, like you said, just
snapshots of them at their best. It's kind of like
their best.
It's kind of like celebrities. Like if you look
yes.
at Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift, they have like all these wonderful snapshots, but
they're all made up and they're all that's
it's fantasy. You don't see them. You don't see them when the paparazzi and fans are harassing them. You don't see them when
they have a stomach ache and they're throwing up and that's why you live each day in your happiness and the things that make you happy, and have goals and set goals, and when you achieve them, they're much sweeter. I knew somebody once that could go on a Caribbean vacation every week. They had tons and tons and tons of money.
Like Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga.
I don't know if they were as rich as them, but
right.
Close. Very, very successful businessman and family. They had everything. The most miserable, disturbed, dysfunctional family. And they were miserable. And nothing meant anything to them because they could do it all the time. So sometimes when you set a goal and you have that goal, you really enjoy what you get.
And I've found, since I have had to fight and struggle for everything in life, I appreciate it more.
That's right.
So like when I get a brand new camera for Christmas, I find I will appreciate the brand new camera, where Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga could just buy a new camera on a whim, and it would just be something.
It means nothing.
It means nothing to them. They could just throw away the camera. But a new camera to me is like the greatest thing on the face of the earth.
So when you work really hard for something, or you set a goal and the goal is realized, it is Shangri-La. It is the happiest moment in your life, and you feel so fulfilled. They don't have that.
Right.
They don't have that.
Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga, from a young age, they were rich and famous, like from 16 years old. They didn't have to work hard for their fame. They worked hard to an extent. They were very talented.
Do you know how?
But I've been working since I'm 18 years old, and I'm now 32 years old. So if I do inevitably become rich and famous, it's going to mean so much more to me, because
you have to always work every day. See, that's the fallacy. You have to work every day, not to let the money destroy you. It's a very, very thin line there.
And that's true. I think rock stars who get famous at a young age get depraved a lot easier. For example, I was looking at Jim Morrison when he was in college.
A lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs. He was like this conservative, well-behaved, well-mannered kid. Then he got the fame, the rock star image, and Jim Morrison became a reckless rock star. And unfortunately, he died at a young age, and
it ended tragically.
But me, I'm a lot more mature. I'm 32 years old. I've grown up a lot. I don't think I'd become a depraved rock star if I got famous.
Like take somebody like Paul Walker, who seemed like the all-American actor, and he just was living, he was clean, he was relatively clean, but he lived his life with people that were fast and furious.
Right.
And he ultimately got in a car accident when somebody was driving too recklessly. So you see, unfortunately, sometimes fame has its negatives too.
So-
A simpler life sometimes is much more fulfilling inside.
So I was interacting with somebody who is probably somebody who's successful and famous on the sly through the computer. And they were saying to me, it's what poor people say, that people that are rich and famous, don't understand happiness. Actually, money does make you happy, and it's just what poor people tell each other to make themselves feel better.
Well, you could go a step further and you could think about the Bible. Blessed are the meek in spirit, because they will inherit the earth. So blessed are the poor people. It's harder for a rich man to get to heaven than to put a needle through a haystack. So it's. Could you say that the Bible is even saying that too?
A lot of people said the Bible was created so the weak and powerless in society, the poor
Don't feel helpless.
So don't feel helpless, and they just obey the wealthy. It's like, all right, even though the wealthy have a lot better existences than we have, let's just obey, because we're going to get into heaven and the rich people aren't. It's easier to think, Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga are going to hell since they lead greedy, grandiose existences, but since I believe in God, since I struggle in life, I'm going to heaven.
Well, if you think of the God and the idea of Jesus Christ, you think of he was born with nothing. He was, treated like a peasant. He lived till his 30s as a peasant, and then he died as a peasant. That concept is the people that are the hard-working, meager people, they were his God. You know
Right.
what I mean? Not the rich kings that crucified him. So, that is what it is.
That is what it is.